Hello everyone, my name is Kaseem. Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we are going to walk through Tesla's earnings call. I want to start doing this, every time Tesla drops their earnings. If I can't do a live stream, I'm going to get the audio afterwards, listen to the whole thing and make commentary on it and, share it here with you on YouTube. So in today's video, we are going to go over the earnings call. We're gonna start the earnings call like right now. I'm just saying that up. So I hope you enjoy this. As an investor, I think it's important to always like you. I know a lot of people cannot listen to every single company they invest in. They cannot listen to all the earnings call, but at least your top five that you have most money in, you need to know what those companies are up to, so that way, you know, if the stock goes down, it gives you have more conviction to buy when the stock goes down because like what the company is up to. Unlike other investors that don't listen to their earnings call, they don't listen to what their team have to say about the company and everything like that. So that's what I'm trying to do here, trying to show you guys how to not only invest, but how to try to make money in the stock market, how to invest for the long term, and what you should really do as as an investor, as someone that invests in stock, some of the things that you're supposed to do. And listening to earnings call is certainly one of them. So let's get the show on the road and listen to.
So, with respect to the Model S and X, there were more challenges than expected in developing the Plaid Model S, or what's called the Palladium program, which is the new version of Model S and X, which has a revised interior and a new battery pack and new drive units and new internal electronics, um, and has, for example, a PlayStation 5 level infotainment system. There's just a lot of issues encountered. Ensuring that the new factory was as well super safe was quite hard because we're making more energy in a smaller space. So it took quite a bit of development to ensure that the battery of the new SX is safe. Um, and we're trying to get all the details
Okay, what's going
in the
on?
cars slowly for the past few months, but we're just stacking them up in the yard um, and just making refinements to the cars that we built. But we do expect to ramp Model S production and start delivering them probably next month. So and then to be in sort of fairly high volume production for the S in Q3, and to start delivering Model X in Q3 as well. So I think as we ramp up, I think probably the demand for the new SX will be quite high. So it's really just going to be a question of ramping supply chain and internal production processes. So probably we're going to aim to produce over 2,000 SX per week. Perhaps if we get lucky, upwards of 2,400 or 2,500. This again is contingent on global supply chain issues, which are just a lot of factors outside of our control here.
Yep.
But I do think,
Which is not only Tesla, like it's not only Tesla that is going through supply chain issue. As you guys know, there's been, because of the illness 19 that we all can't talk about, we all censored from talking about. Because of that, there's been a huge chip shortage all over the world, just because we've been locked down for the past year or so. Factories have been shut down, so. But Tesla has been smart. Like, they buy a couple of years worth of the things that they need, and they just work on making the products. So I don't think it would affect Tesla as much as it would affect other companies.
These things will get sold, so it's just a matter of time. 2,000 STX per week. And it's a great car. It actually costs us less to produce, a little bit less to produce, but it is a superior product. So, in conclusion, there's a lot to be excited about in 2021 and 22. We're building factories as quickly as we can. Both Texas and Berlin are progressing well. We expect to have initial limited production from those factories this year, and volume production from Texas and Berlin next year. At the same time, we're continuing to ramp production of Model Y in Fremont and Shanghai.
Good.
In the background,
Listen, that Model Y for Tesla, that Model Y is going to be a cash cow. You guys just watch. That Model Y, Tesla is going to sell a lot of it because, first of all, that car is cheap for them to make and people just love it. If you guys check out the Model Y, you see the roof is glass all the way through. Like people just love it. Like they just love the Model Y, man.
we're continuing development work on the Semi, Cybertruck, the Roadster, and other products. Thanks to everyone at Tesla who made this year a huge success. Now on to questions.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you very much. We have some remarks from Zachary Kirkhorn as well.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Martin. Thanks, Elon. So congratulations to the Tesla team on breaking multiple records in the first quarter of 21, as Elon had mentioned.
Let's
Which
go.
is typically the most difficult
Let's
of
go,
the year
Tesla
for many
team.
reasons. To summarize the quarter, I think it's key items. Launched and began the ramp of Model Y in Shanghai, achieving positive gross margin in the first quarter of production and receiving a great reception from the market. Second, as Elon mentioned, although we began the production process for the Model S during the quarter, we had not yet begun customer deliveries. The reduction in Model S and X deliveries from Q4 to Q1 were a meaningful headwind to free cash flows and profit generation. For example, we incurred an estimated $200 million of direct P&L impact relating to this program in Q1, the majority of which is reflected in COGS. And that's before even considering
P&L, for those people that don't know, is called profit and loss. So yeah, for those of you guys that don't know, it's called profit and loss.
Considering the impact of lost revenue and profits as a result of the transition. And as Elon mentioned, we expect the first deliveries to be.
This is the master of coin of Tesla, okay? Is the CEO, it's the CFO of Tesla. So he's the guy that's in charge of the money. That's why it's called Master of Coins.
Begin shortly.
And I kid you not, that's his title, Master of Coin.
Third, as we continue to work through the instability of the global supply chain, particularly around semiconductors and port capacities, while the Tesla team, in partnership with our suppliers, did keep our factories running, we did experience high expedite costs in the quarter, and they were also higher than they were in Q4, with some minor interruptions to production over the course of the quarter. But we believe that this landscape is improving, but it does remain difficult and it's an evolving situation. If we double-click within net income, auto gross margin, excluding credits, improved sequentially and year over year. This is in spite of the cost mentions for S and X and expedites and a reduction in global ASPs, as our cost structure as a company is reducing at an even faster pace. So as we look out over the course of the year, we feel optimistic about our gross margin strength, particularly as some of these headwinds we're experiencing start to be resolved.
Good.
On services and other margins, these have recovered and are trending towards profitability, aided by strength in the used car business, operational improvements in service, and additional service revenue opportunities that help absorb fixed overheads. On energy gross margins, these remained negative for a second quarter. This is driven by solar roof-related ramp costs and winter seasonality in the lease PPA business. We continue to manage through a multi-quarter backlog on Powerwall. We're working as fast as we can to increase production.
Again, you guys just heard that. They continue to manage over quarters of backlogs. Okay. this is the kind of company you want to invest in. Okay, the company is growing so much, they have so much orders that they have a couple of quarters. And what, for those of you guys that don't know, 1 quarter means 3 months. So when they say Q1, Q2 is January to February, then March to the next 3 months, and the next 3 months, and the next 3 months until the end of the year. So they have a couple of quarters of backlog for their solar panel. Like, people want Tesla stuff so much, like they pay for it and they have to wait to get it. That's how great of an investment Tesla is.
Production, and this will aid in profitability of this business as those volumes increase. On operating expenses, these increased for Q1, which is driven by our investments in technology and growth.
Good.
In particular for R&D, this includes the structural battery pack and 4680 cells.
Good. Listen, investment in R&D means investment in the company, okay? Because if they don't do research and development, they're not going to be able to grow. That's why Tesla don't pay dividend or anything like that. They spend all their money into researching and making things better, making the company grow and making it more lean. You know, making the company grow to the point that it's gotten to today. And I think over time, Tesla is probably going to be worth trillions. You know, just because the way this company is going, they are definitely going to get to that $1 trillion mark very, very soon.
Investments in the new SNX and our neural net and silicon investments. On the SG&A side, we're setting up infrastructure and support for both China and EMEA in anticipation of volume to come.
China and India. You guys heard that? China and India.
There. And as I said before, our plans show that we remain on track for sustained industry-leading operating margins.
Good.
Double-clicking on cash flows, we continue to generate positive free cash flows, and this was despite the significant working capital headwinds from SNX. Additionally, we are making progress reducing various forms of debt. We also invested $1.5 billion in Bitcoin during the quarter, then trimmed our position by 10%, which contributed to a small gain in our Q1 financials. Taking us
good. So their Bitcoin, it just said that Bitcoin made them money in this quarter. I think they sold 10% of it. They sold a little bit of it, so it made them some money. That's great.
Step back, we've generated $8 billion in operating cash flows and $4 billion in free cash flows over the past 4 quarters. As we look forward, our plans remain unchanged for long-term growth of 50% annually.
Where are you going to get a company that is constantly growing, that is going to be growing by 50% on average? So your company will grow by 50%, which means most likely, not all the time, but most likely the stock is probably going to grow by 50% on average for the whole year as well. Where are you going to get a company that's going to do that, especially a $600 billion company? It's hard. I don't see that happening anywhere else except on Tesla.
And we believe we're on track to exceed that this year as we guided to last quarter. Global demand remains meaningfully higher than production levels, and so we're driving as fast as we can to increase our production rates. As we think about Q2 and Q3, these quarters should largely be driven by execution on SNX, as we've discussed, continued ramp of Model Y in Shanghai, and the associated cost reductions of these programs. And we expect profitability and cash generation to evolve over the year in line with those improvements. And then as we get towards the end of the year, our story will pivot towards the launch and ramp of our newest factories in Austin and Berlin. So there's certainly no shortage of exciting things for us to work on and look forward to. Thank you, and we'll open it up for questions.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So we're gonna get to
we'll first take retail questions from.
We're gonna get to questions now, where investors get to ask Tesla some questions, and they have to answer it.
Website. The first question is, how is Dojo coming along? Could Dojo unlock an AWS-like business line for Tesla over the next few years?
Okay, come on, tech knocking of Tesla. Come on. Question is for you, bro.
Yeah, I'll jump in here. So, with respect to
Actually,
Jojo,
sorry, that guy. My apologies. I was on mute.
oh, go ahead, Elon.
Um, so, yeah, it's just basically saying that although like right now people think of Tesla as a lot of people think Tesla is a car company or perhaps an energy company. I think long term people will think of Tesla as much as an AI robotics company as we are a car company or an energy company.
You see that? Elon just told you guys, just dropped some gems on you guys right there. Some gems. He said Tesla, in the future, people are going to look at Tesla as an AI robotics company. That is one mic drop moment right there. Because if you guys think about it, their cars is basically robots on wheels. Basically, robots on wheels. Right there, that is a business line that Tesla is developing. Like they had an issue with certain things, like they want certain things to be certain way. If they can't get other manufacturers to make it the way they want it to be made, they just go ahead and do it themselves. Be like, okay, you know what? We can't get it outside. Let's just do it ourselves, and they just get it done. It's great, man. Great to invest in a company like this.
Was really quite primitive for this task, and so we built a team from scratch, and have been developing what we think is probably the most advanced real world AI in the world. And then it sort of makes sense that this is kind of what needs to happen because the road system is designed for a neural net computer, our brain. Our brain is a neural net computer. And it's designed, the entire road system is designed for vision with a neural net computer, which is because it's designed for eyes in a brain.
Mm-hmm. Which is true.
So
which is true, like most of us that we are on the road, that we are driving, we're using our eyes. We're using our eyes to drive, right? And then we're using our brain to figure out, hey, what's going on the road, right? That's exactly what we're doing whenever we're driving on the road. So that's what Elon is basically saying right there, that that's how they want to approach. That's how they want to approach Tesla and their self-driving cars. They want to just use a bunch of cameras. So the cameras will be taking the image in at the same time. They have like 8 cameras all around the car. It will take the image in, and then they have the computer, Dojo computer, which is the neural nets, the AI, that's the brain of the car, that's now going to interpret the image and basically tell the car what to do while the car drives itself around. Like it's actually a great invention by Tesla, actually, I must say.
If you have a system which has very good eyes, you can see in all directions at once, you can see 3 focal points ahead or forward, but it never gets tired. It's never sort of texting.
Mm-hmm.
It has redundancy, and its reaction time is superhuman. Then it seems pretty obvious that such a system would achieve an extremely high level of safety, far in excess of the average person.
Let's end that right there. So to me, that sounds like a very, very good investment. That what I just got from the call. Let's just go over it. So they basically solving real world AI problems. This is from my notes. A few things that I got jotted down. They're solving real world AI problems. The Model 3 is the best selling car, period. Best selling sedan, period. And their Model Y is going to be the best selling car moving forward. All right. They're working on their Dojo system. And the Dojo system is basically the car has a bunch of cameras around it. And then they build their own computer chip that they build into the car. And the computer chips process all the image and tell the car what to do. So processing those image and labeling those images, they used to have people doing it, human beings doing it, and telling the computer, hey, this is what this is, this is what that is, this is what this is. Now they're training the computer to do that. So the Dojo system is improving. What's the next one? They talked about their solar roof. They talked about Tesla selling Bitcoin. They sold 10% of Bitcoin. Um, they talked about like superconductor. I have to research that more. They talked about the energy business. They talked about FSD. So this call was a very helpful call as a Tesla investor. Again, I personally still feel like the company is still not matured yet to get to a point where you're gonna sell the stock. If you own the stock right now, it's just to be accumulating, because we have factories in Germany, factory in Germany, factory in Austin, Texas. They're coming out with Model S, Model Y, Plaid, Cybertruck, semi truck. This company is just starting on their journey. This is a great investment. Anybody that is investing in Tesla, that you don't listen to Tesla's earnings call, you are doing yourself a disjustice or whatever. You should be listening to Tesla's earnings call. Anyways, with that being said, appreciate you for watching the video. I know this is a long video. Appreciate you for watching the video. If you like this kind of content, consider subscribing to the channel. I do this pretty much every week. I post on this channel every week. So if you like this content, subscribe. I do my Tesla update every week and a half, which I show you how my Tesla portfolio is doing. And I go with the basic premise of investing $20 every day, which is $100. It's about $400. It's about $400 per month that I invest into Tesla stock on a daily basis. So it's not a lot of money. I think a lot of people can afford to do $20 a day on a great investment like this. So anyways, all in all, this has been a great earnings call. I've learned a lot more about the company, and I'm going to keep on doing some more research like I do pretty much all the time. And listening to the earnings call like this is part of that research. Keep on doing those research and just trying to gain a little bit more knowledge into what the company is doing. So whenever the stock goes down like crazy, I jump in and buy a little bit more and just over time grow my wealth as a company grow as well. So yeah, thanks again for watching. Appreciate you for watching. Until next time, see you later. Love you all. Bye.